How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korban Gaming. Welcome back to another DragonFable video, and for today's video we are actually going to be talking about the new monthly dragon coin items, and on top of that we'll also be discussing the new Pyromancer and Guardian changes that have taken place for this week's release. So this week we actually had quite a lot of stuff going on. First of all, we had the new In at the Age of Time challenge. If you haven't already checked that out, then please go and check out my video if you're having trouble beating it. Okay, I use Technomancer, so it should be accessible to 90% of the players who are still playing this game, right? Instead of the V2 or the Archivist or the Underworld Epoch, which is a more exclusive class, I would say, that most people still do not have yet. So Technomancer is widely available to everyone, and I encourage you guys to check out my video if you're having trouble beating. Now, that being said, let us jump right into today's video, because apart from the In challenge, we also had huge updates to the Pyromancer and Guardian changes. But before that, let's talk about the Weapons of Change, which is this month's Dragon Coin special. Okay, so let's take a look at the artwork first. Vel, Age of Change. This one is the dagger. Raton, Focus of Change. This is the staff. And Tyre, the Lance of Change. This is the sword, obviously. So all of these weapons, if you look at the green color parts, they are actually color custom to whatever color you want them to be. So I think that's really good. Okay, and it's a plus point. Also, one thing to point out is that this month's item is actually cheaper than the regular items. Okay, so regularly your monthly weapons cost 500 DCs. This month they only cost 400 DCs, so that's pretty good. 90 to 102 silver. Let's compare it to the best silver weapon inside the game. 90 to 102. The damage is comparable. Let's look at the stats here. BPD 11. Okay, crit 15. This is block 9 with a crit 15 as well. They got P and D too, so this is better in the defense department already. Endurance 12, luck 12. Endurance 12, luck 12, main stat 15. Alright, so this one has a little bit less endurance. It has some wisdom, which that does not have, and it has a little bit less luck. Okay, but this one has main stat 15 and main stat 30. So it's already better than this because it has more main stat. This one gets 15 bonus as well. Let's check out the bonus. Bonus 15. All 10 immobility minus 10, health minus 10. Okay. Energy, ice, nature, immobility. So yeah, it's not better than the current best silver weapon inside the game. This one you can get from one of the earlier In challenges. I can't remember exactly which one, but yeah, this weapon is way better if you're looking for the best silver weapon inside of the game. But if you are someone who likes cosmetics, then I'll recommend you to buy this, because firstly, it's 100 dragon coins cheaper than the regular items, and on top of that, it's color custom. So if you're a fashion fable type of guy who likes to, you know, make everything look pretty, then yeah, this is for you. But other than that, I will not be getting it, because for practical purposes, I have something better. Right, now let's delve into the exciting part, which is the Pyromancer updates and changes. Okay, so to fully showcase the power of the class, I have changed my stats up to 200 dexterity, 200 intelligence, because you do get a bonus to your damage if you're... Now let me take a look at the design notes. Okay, so if intelligence and dexterity are your higher stats, you gain 5% damage. If intelligence and dexterity are your higher stats and within level divide by 10, so at max level it's within 9 points of each other, you get a 15% damage boost total. So it's exactly the same as Ranger's strength and dexterity mix, except it's for Pyromancer, and then I've dumped the remaining points into luck. Okay, so the equipment I have equipped is the Exalted Weapon for excuse me. No, actually, why use the Exalted? Let's use Uragiri instead for even more damage. Okay, the Lucky Hammer shown. Okay, I have the best offensive gear equipped. Okay, I did not use the Soul Forge items because that would mean I would lose out on the 15% damage boost, because my intelligence stat will be way higher as compared to my dexterity stat. So that's the reason why I didn't use the Soul Forge items. Okay, so now let us test it out on the green screen monster, which I believe it was it Ulcer Maximus, or was it someone else? I can't remember. Which someone suggested me to use instead of the Volta Boat challenge, which I am really silly to have not done it earlier because I didn't realize that. So you're going to run all the way here. Let's look at the Let's test it out on the dummy. Okay, we'll give him 100,000 max HP. Let's battle. Okay, so the first change, Mage Fire passive, now starts at 0 potency but increases power the more stacks of Pyromancer's flames are on your enemy. For each stack on the foe, the consuming Mage Fire increases your crit chance by 20%. For each stack on the foe, healing Mage Fire will heal you for 1% of your HP when you use a skill. So this one is, I don't think there's any change here. I'm not entirely sure, but let's change it. Okay, so what is good is that it starts out at healing Mage Fire, which in my opinion is more useful than consuming Mage Fire. So thank God for that. But for the purpose of this video, we will change it to consuming Mage Fire first. Okay, you can click on this to swap to your weapon element, but for 10% less base damage. So that is a neat little thing. Finally, they made the they made it a quick cast toggle, so you can just click on it to swap between your element and the fire element. So we'll just use the fire element right here for more damage. Okay, and let's see what other things change. Pyromancer's flame. So all of the dot skills have been condensed into one skill, which is here. It causes 25 MP at level 90, and it's a stackable dot maximum of 5, and it empowers your Mage Fire. Okay, so of course it will increase in damage the more you use it. It's almost very similar to Ranger's Viper arrows, but this one you don't build up any focus. Instead you build up Mage Fire, and once you reach 5 stacks, you gain a plus 75 boost to all attacks. So let us hit it with 5 stacks, and you'll get a huge 75% damage bonus. Now keep in mind, all of these changes are still not final yet, and Verly actually did state that he was planning to nerf the class a little bit because it is really quite ridiculously strong right now. So once you hit 5 stacks, you get this neat little animation on top here, which I'll showcase later on. Yep, that animation right there, this spinning thing right here. Yeah, so once you reach 5 stacks, you get this, which is really cool, and you can switch it, it will turn blue. So really nice. Okay, next one. Various skills have been shuffled. So they reshuffled some of these skills, rearranged it, and let's see here. What are skills? Paper Cannon changes to Ashes. This skill purges effects from you besides Mage Fires and deals more damage the more effects you have. So this one is a really good skill for unleashing damage once you get enough effects on yourself. Malcifer, heal removed, but now applies its effects regardless of which hits. Now increases your bonus instead of your boost. So that's good because it sets itself apart from Enkindle, which I've been saying for a long time. So this one, let's take a look at the effects right here. Okay, we got Curse Flames plus 75 bonus, that's really good. And then minus 25 also. Everything is almost exactly the same for this one. Then you can use the next one. We have Enkindle. Now applies Dynamic Shield, which gives you 75 resistance to your current element for 1 turn. So on top of that, you also have the 25% damage boost, so that's really good. And then Magma Bubble, okay, the Reflection Shield now reduces damage per hit by half. So it's quite similar to the, what do you call that, Mage's Tawny Shield, I think. I believe that's one of the shield with reflect on it, so that's quite similar now. What other things do we have here that changes it? Okay, so let's use 2 Ashes. Okay, so it's exactly the same animation as your Paper Cannon, and whew, look at that damage, that's insane. I've seen people hit over 1,000 or close to 2,000 with this. Now this is obviously not the best way to go about using the skills. There isn't a set rotation out yet. People are still testing and having fun with the class, so don't follow this rotation. I'm just showcasing these skills. But anyways, this class will still continue to change and be tweaked till it is till Verly is satisfied with it. So I don't think that we should have a set rotation for it anytime soon, since it's still subject to changes. The next skill, Full Throttle. Okay, this one, what does this do? Okay, let me take a look. Here, make sure you have nothing left. Yep. Full Throttle, I believe this one, it still remains the same, retains the same effect. Okay, minus 25 boost to your opponent. Not a very strong nerf, but you know, considering how strong Pyromancer's other skills are already, I would say it's pretty good. So now let's use Pyromancer's Flame again to continue building up the dot. Okay, for maximum damage. So that's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And 5. So we get the 75% damage boost right here. Okay, next one we have Conflagration. This one removes Pyromancer's flames from your foe and resets your stacks to 0. It applies Devouring Magefire, which applies and doubles the effects of healing and consuming Magefire at full stacks. So plus 200 crit, plus 150 boost, heal 10% each turn. And it also lets you follow up with another effect immediately. So this is a really good skill. I think you're supposed to use this before you use the 2 ashes for maximum damage. So let us continue to stack up the Pyromancer's flame, and you can really see the increased damage output. So really crazy right here. And you can see almost every single thing is a critical hit. And it's not just because my critical is over 104, but it's because you get extra crit chance with the Magefire passive, which is really insane as well. Okay, now is it 5 yet? I think it needs one more. Okay, let's see what other skills do we have here that I haven't talked about. Final. Okay, let's look at final. 83.9k damage. Let's see how much damage it does. 82.7k. Pretty good damage on the final right there with all the buffs available. Magma Bubble, still the same. You get a defense boost, and on top of that, enemy will reflect damage. 140 MPM, so that's quite good. Right. Let's do Enkindle. Okay, wait, is it MPM or is it BPD? Let me check. Yeah, oh, it's BPD, so it's a BPD shield. Unfortunately, that's kind of bad, but you know, like I said, it's already very good to begin with, and this class is already very good even without a MPM shield. And that being said, with the reflect passive, I think you're better off using BPD, because with MPM the monster is just going to miss everything, and that will make the reflect kind of pointless, you know what I mean? Here, lava fountain right here, and then we also have fire chains, which is still exactly the same. And you have Tri-Flame, which reduces your opponent's healing. The dot is removed and now applies plus 50 health to the target for 2 turns. So this is actually a really good skill if you want to, you know, make sure that your opponent doesn't what do you call it? If your opponent is a strong healing opponent like the newest Professor boss monster inside of the inn, then that would be a really good skill to stop them from healing. Or if your enemy is someone like the Veltrith boss monster, yep, that's another place where you can use it. Okay, so let's use Enkindle right here. Let's see what's the maximum damage we can do on the Fire Tongue, or should I say the Breath of Fire. So now it's been renamed to Breath of Fire. I inflict all of the buffs that I can possibly get that increases my damage, and then you use Breath of Fire here. So you can stack up to a max. So it disables your Mage Fire for 5 turns. It cleanses all the effects on the player, including the Mage Fire, but unleashes a massive attack based on how many turns Mage Fire has been active. So Mage Fire has been active for, you can see here, it starts off at 99, now it's at 63 turns. So I already got the max of 25 turns here. So let's see how much damage we can do. On top of that, we also got the extra boost from having 5 stacks of the Pyromancer's Flame. So I'm excited to see. Oh my gosh, wow, 2,000 to 3,000 damage. That is crazy, guys. Are you seeing that? Oh no, I really love this class. Rebirth cleanses all effects on the player, including Mage Fire, and brings you back to full health and full MP. So yeah, all in all, I really like the current state of Pyromancer right now. I think it's a little bit too strong, like what Verly said, especially the damage output wise. But you know, it's a DC class, so it's meant to be very strong. And the playstyle is very similar to Ranger. You have one skill that you have to keep building up, but it's also different in that you have all of these defensive skills and you have all of these offensive skills. So Pyromancer can be a very good offensive and defensive class at the same time. And you know, you can use this to see how good the heal is. Oh, you can't really tell. Okay, so the heal doesn't have a pop-up here, but every time you use a skill, it just heals you like by a little bit. So unfortunately, we can't see how much it heals, but the heal at max level, it is somewhat substantial in my opinion. A 10% heal each turn, that's pretty crazy. So if I have like 2,000 HP, that's like easily 200 plus heal per turn, and if I'm using the standard build, that's like 200 plus, close to 300 heal per turn, so that is pretty insane as well. Okay, so the rebirth does come with initial cooldown, nothing has changed, and you can see here it has a cooldown afterwards for that, which is like, I believe the cooldown hasn't changed at all. So now if you see, if I go into battle again, oh wait, does it not have a cooldown? I thought it has a charge time. Okay, so 34 turns. Let's go again, come on. Oh, they removed the initial charge time. Is it? Did they do that? I didn't know that. Okay, I really didn't know that they removed the initial charge time. Maybe it's just that monster. Let's check out a different monster. Yeah, let's check out a different monster to see if they really did. No, they didn't remove the charge time. Okay, so when you're fighting the training dummy, you don't see the charge time. So yeah, there is that. And even with fire element, which this monster has absolutely no weakness to, is dealing a crazy amount of damage, which is just insane. Oh, we are using Yuragiri, that's why, but that's not a big issue. Let's do final. I believe you can kill him with final in one hit. Let's do Malcifer as well. Curse you. I don't even think we need to stack Pyromancer's Flame all the way. 1109 should be more than enough, right? Let's test it out. More than enough. This is an insane class, guys. Insane class right now. I'm having so much fun with it. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Pyromancer. I think it's in a really strong place right now. It needs a little bit of a nerf. Okay, I think the Mage Fire passive is still a little bit weird because of the crit chance. Because you don't really use, like, this class is still heavily focused around dealing damage to your dots. But that being said, with the skill changes, there are some skills that you use for damage as well, but still the dots are where majority of your damage is going to come in from. So I think Verly actually wants to keep this Mage Fire passive because he didn't change anything since the last time. It's still crit chance and it's still healing, but I think it's in a way better place now. Okay, and I like that they finally changed all of there were like 4 different dot skills for Pyromancer, all of which did the same thing, so I'm glad they condensed everything into one skill. So that's really nice. Paper Cannon to Ashes, I think that's really good. It purges all effects from you. Yep, that's a good skill. I don't have any complaints. Malcifer, heal remove, which is nice. Increases your bonus instead of boost, which sets it apart from Enkindle. That's nice also. Rebirth, really nice that they now cleanses all effects, because when you rise up from the ashes, you obviously don't want to be carrying the burden of whatever you have before you die and reborn, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a cool, nice little detail for the lore aspect of the class that I like. Okay, Fire Tongue being changed to Breath of Fire. It's basically a nuking skill for your Pyromancer, so that's good. Maybe reduce the damage a little bit. I feel that it's super strong right now. Same for the Paper Cannon also. People are doing quite a lot of damage with that, so maybe you can cut that down. Blaze Blue, the name has just been changed to Full Throttle, which it does the exact same thing. Again, minus 25 boost on the opponent is not a lot, but this is already a super strong class, so I guess that's okay. And Kindle, you do get the 25% damage boost, but also gives you dynamic shield. I feel that maybe you can remove the dynamic shield to not make it that powerful. Like 75 resistance to your current element for 1 turn, I think it's good to have, but you know, if the class is too strong, maybe it's somewhere where you can cut back a bit. Maybe not 75, maybe 50, you know, if you don't want to remove it completely. Tri-Flame, the dot has been removed, now applies. Okay, I really like this skill. I think it's in a good spot. It prevents enemies from healing. Conflagration, I think this is in a really good spot as well. It basically is double your Pyromancer's flame effect, and you definitely want to use this the moment you have your first 5 stacks if you're going into a long drawn out battle. Lava Bubble is in a good place as well. And what Verly wanted to do is maintaining the old Pyromancer playstyle while providing better rewards for doing so, along with interesting combos. You'll see where it falls after feedback and will be adjusted accordingly, whether it is too powerful or not strong enough. So yeah, maybe a little bit of small nerfs here and there, but other than that, I think the class is in a very good position, and hopefully we'll see some Pyromancer main characters soon. Who knows? Okay, now let's discuss about the Guardian changes. I unfortunately do not have Guardian on this account, okay? So I'm unfortunately unable to showcase it to you guys, but I will just bring the design notes right up here so you guys can read. Okay, so Guardian now has a widget above the attack button to let you know what element you have empowered. Neat little touch, I really like that, so that people know exactly what it is for those people who aren't keeping track, you know, people such as myself. So that's really nice. Empower attacks now do even more damage, so that's crazy. Initially it gives a 75% boost to damage, which is already huge in my opinion, so now it does even more. And people are complaining that the Guardian is still pretty weak in terms of damage, so nice little buff, I like that. Empower attacks now have a minor secondary effect. Fire additional dot damage, water heals 5% max HP, ice heals 5% max MP, wind plus 50 bonus on the attack, total of plus 100 with base empowerment effect. Whoa, this is insane. Okay, energy plus 10 boost on the attack. Nature applies Nature's Wrath, reduces foes avoidance by 50 for 1 turn. Darkness reduces damage by an additional 10% for 1 turn. Light reduces foes bonus by an additional 25 for 1 turn. Bacon, extra 25% crit chance on the attack. Okay, so all neat little effects to make them more useful. Otter's power now has 33% chance to activate when used. Way better, because Otter's power simply was not worth using before. Now with the increased proc chance, I think that it's in a pretty good spot. Okay, and remove Guardian Dragon's old dialogue while we figure out what to do for him. We have some ideas, but not enough time to set them in motion yet. A lot of people were saying they didn't like the dialogue because it was cheesy and whatnot, but you know, it's the funny dialogue and puns has always been a large part of AE's games, and personally I would have liked to keep it, because I think it's pretty funny. And like I said, it's been a staple of AE games. Everybody knows the Guardian Dragons comes out and makes stupid puns. It's been there in Adventure Quest, and I hope to still continue seeing it there in DragonFable. Some people may not like it, but you know, I think for nostalgia reasons, it should be kept. Right, skills have been rearranged, so Guardian should be where it is expected to be now as a result. Of course, changes may happen with feedback, but it should be quite satisfying to use. In my opinion, I think Guardian is pretty strong right now. I don't know why people are saying it's still weak. I think, like, if you look at the numbers on paper alone, I think it's pretty crazy. Okay, if really buffs it even more, I think it'll just be a crazy overpowered class. But right now, I think it's in a very, very good spot, and I don't think there are any other changes. I don't really have any complaints for the Guardian class, but you know, then again, I don't have it, so I can't really speak for everyone. Okay. Also, the quest Sunfall Part 2 has received some updates in its dialogue. Non-Vin heroes will be surprised to see Elzane, while Queen Victoria gets a report about the Deadlands Rift. So, just a small little update for those who are not in the Vin faction. I will not be playing that through. You guys can go and take a look at it yourselves. And yeah, that is basically it for this week's second DragonFable video, while we talk about the Pyromancer and Guardian changes. Do let me know down in the comments below what you think of the new changes. Are you a fan of it, or do you actually not like it? What other things would you like to see change? I really am interested to hear your guys' opinion on it, and of course, hopefully we can have a nice discussion in the comments. Alternatively, you can check out my post on Reddit and we can have a discussion there too. So yeah, till the next time, I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Peace out.